Well, I think we'll just get started. Welcome. Thanks for coming in. We want to hear more about the jobs plan, but I'd like to start with a question about Act 10. Act 10 is, in many ways, the sort of central piece of legislation that was passed during Governor Walker's first term. I'm wondering what your view on it is, and if you would try to overturn or alter it if you became governor.
Sure. Well, if I had been governor, I would have made sure that that I bargained and negotiated for the changes that needed to be made to balance the state budget. And I think it was only fair to ask for contributions to health care and to pensions, but I think those could have been negotiated, certainly firmly, but fairly. It would have made sure that Wisconsin had gone forward in a united way. And I think that Act 10 divided our state. And it was very disruptive. As a business executive, executives are negotiating all the time, and the goal always is to leave those negotiations in a better place. And I think actually Wisconsin left those negotiations, walked away from the table, and left in a worse place. So I think I would have handled it differently. Going forward, though, I do believe that I'd work to restore collective bargaining. And I don't think that that stands in the way of making sure that we have accountable, efficient, and effective public sector. And I see it in school board and in education all the time. And I'm concerned that we are able to attract and retain and keep good people in our public sector. Already we have seen in Wisconsin fewer people pursuing education as a career. We even see people certainly dropping out and saying, I'm not sure that I see a future in front of me in terms of pay and benefits where I'm going to be able to cover my student loans, be able to support myself and my family long term, and whether this is a profession that is going to be one that keeps good people. So I'm concerned about some of the impacts that it has had in terms of being able to attract and keep good people and have those careers, particularly in education, be ones where we can have thriving schools and therefore have thriving students.
So are there any aspects of Act 10 you would keep, or would you wholesale just sort of throw it out and start over? Other states have added measures. Massachusetts is one example to gain some control over benefits costs. What's your view on what's required?
Well, I think we do have to make sure that we are living within taxpayer means. And I serve on the Madison School Board. I'm known as sort of the fiscal conservative on the Madison School Board. Of course, I joke it is Madison, so that's all. It's all relative. But no, I mean, we have to make sure that we are competitive as a state in terms of our tax structure, in terms of the tax burden on people, and so we do have to keep pay and benefits in line. But we also still have to make sure it's competitive with the private sector if we want to get good people. And we want to make sure that they are that they're staying and that they're committed to the mission. But I think the aspects around collecting dues, through how those dues are collected, that is only fair to say that those can be collected through payroll deduction. I think in terms of certifying unions, again, I think it's only fair that it's a majority of those who vote rather than those as eligible voters. But in the end, it is about making sure we do have a cost-effective, efficient, and accountable public sector.